rowdy, then you better get paid, you know why.
Yeah, this is so funny.
Holding in the way, that's what I heard him say. They used to heed the words he said, but that was yesterday. Gold will turn to gray, and youth will fade away. They'll never care about you, call you holding in the way.
Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Old Men in Chairs. The woman that you see on your screen is becoming world famous. She's the district attorney of Fulton County, Georgia. You might have heard she was in court on Thursday and gave some remarkable testimony. The allegations against her are that she hired her boyfriend as a special prosecutor to help her bring her RICO case against former President Trump that resulted in 13 indictments. Then she paid him more than anyone else in the office, and then took a number of luxurious vacations with him. And of course, if she was benefiting financially from her boyfriend having gotten appointed by her, that might raise some questions about ethics and the fairness of the prosecution. So it's all coming to a head down in an Atlanta courtroom. I had some outpatient surgery on Thursday morning, which everything went well, except the light sedation that they gave me, the anesthesia, caused me to have an allergic reaction where I've been sneezing for 2 days. So since I wasn't really fit to do much of anything else, and it's very cold outside anyway around here, I spent the Thursday and Friday watching most of these hearings. And I've got to say, I've never seen anything so amazing, or at least not since the Watergate hearings of 1974, I guess, the Irwin Committee. Just unbelievable revelations, and somebody's not telling the truth here. On Thursday morning, after her boyfriend had been cross-examined, all of a sudden Fani, I guess they call her Fani, but I may have trouble saying it that way, Fani showed up in the courtroom and demanded to take the stand. Her lawyers, I think, tried to talk her out of it, but I don't think there's any talking her out of it. She was a woman, felt her reputation had been impugned, and she was going to have her day in court. So they swore her in, and she was one of the most combative witnesses I've ever seen. Now, just to give you a tiny little flavor about this, I'm going to play a little bit of a clip from her testimony where the other attorney was trying to ask her, when did her romantic relationship with her boyfriend end? She had a pattern of not answering any questions directly without first going into a lot of extraneous information, and she was warned a number of times to listen to the question and answer the question that's been asked. She is an attorney, she's a district attorney. You'd think she would know how to conduct herself as a witness, but this was very unprofessional, in my opinion, and the opinion of a great many other viewers. So let's just see a little bit of a flavor of what this was all about.
When did your romantic relationship with Mr. Wade end? Did it end?
Me and Mr. Wade, we are good friends. My respect for him has grown over these 7 weeks of attacks. We are very good friends. I think, but for these attacks, it would have been a friendship that, as life goes, he would have stopped having. I think that you have cemented that we'll be friends till the day we die.
Could
we just have an answer to the question?
I can handle this, say that. Let's have it.
She asked about a personal relationship.
She asked when the romantic relationship ended. That's the question.
It's sometime in, I'd say late summer of 2023. So I don't believe me and, this is what you're really asking about. This is the salaciousness of all of this, right?
No, I'm just asking about your romantic relationship, when you stopped dating.
I think that me and Mr. Wade, so he's a man, he probably would say June or July. I would say we had a tough conversation in August.
So he's a man. So he thinks that the relationship ended when the physical part ended, but for a woman, of course, it ain't over until she says it's over, I guess. This is a story of me and Mr. Wade. It sounds like an old song that I'm familiar with.
I would say we had a tough conversation in August. And so that men in relationships at the end of physical intimacy, women in relationships when that tough conversation takes place.
And where, when did he come to, I guess, the condo? I'm not sure what you called it, condo apartment. Would he come and stay at that condo or visit you there? I'm sorry, visit you there.
What condo, what apartment? I want to be clear.
So not your house. I know you classified one as house and one as condo, so I'm trying to use those terms.
So but there's been more see, what you don't understand is because of this case, I got to move. And so I
Ms.
need
Merchant, if you could ask a more precise
Yes,
question.
please, give me the time period. that we're
Mr.
talking
Wade visits you at the place you laid your head.
about. When?
Has he ever visited you at the place you laid your head?
So let's be clear, because you lied in this. Let me tell you which one you lied in. Right here. I think you lied right here. No. This is the truth,
Judge,
And
this
it is a lie. It is a lie.
Ms. Willis?
You see.
Mr. Sayin, thank you. We're going to take 5 minutes. Be back in 5.
So she was so out of control with her anger and calling the other lawyer a liar that the judge had to step in and suspend the proceedings for 5 minutes. And it didn't get any better after that. So all of this kind of reminded me of a song that came out earlier this year when Fani first came into national prominence. And this was one of those AI clone Trump rap songs. I've done a number of them, but this one kind of slipped by me. It's hysterically funny, especially in light of some of the revelations that have occurred this week. So this song is called Now I Ain't Saying She's a Vote Rigger. And of course, there's been a lot of allegations about the voting system in Atlanta, which famously stopped the count during the last presidential election, and then there was video evidence that ballots were being pushed through the vote counting machine more than once. It's based on the famous Kanye song, I Ain't Saying She's a Gold Digger. So it's one of Kanye's biggest hits. But they use that as the background, and then luckily all the lyrics appear on the screen. I had to look a lot of them up because it's very much in what we call ghetto, perhaps lingo.
Now I say she a boat rigger, but fatty only make my lead bigger. Now I say she a boat rigger, but fatty only make my lead bigger. Get down, girl, go ahead, get down. 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 Fanita thought always at the beauty salon with a baby Louis Vuitton under her underarm. She said, talk to Waka Flock, I could really do harm. For a case, I got a lot, I could blow up the spot like a bomb. But I'm looking for the one, have you seen her? She went and put my whole team under subpoena. Diva, Friday, Felicia, abort kids, in charge of Donald Trump and niggas for bullshit. Indict Gucci Mane and chase it for some pain. She think it's all a game, but rap with no shame. She get up on TV, they all know her name. If you play in Fulton County, then you better get paid, you know why?
Yeah, this is so funny because their excuse for taking all these vacations, which apparently the boyfriend paid for, was that Fani had actually paid the boyfriend back in cash for all of these trips. And so they asked her, okay, do you have any records? He had the same story, that he'd been paid in cash, thousands and thousands of dollars for these many vacations that they've taken, luxurious vacations. And they asked him, do you have any record of, taking that cash and depositing it into a bank? Or, no, he said, I might have given it to my children. Okay. And then when she got on the stand next, they asked her about, why did she pay in cash? And she went into this long-winded explanation that it's a black thing. That her father had always taught her, always have at least 6 months of expenses in cash in your house so that no matter what happens, you can deal with things. That was her story, was that she always had cash, and they asked her, well, where did you get the cash? She had a number of excuses, like maybe when she went to the grocery store, she got an extra $50 back on her credit card, or she took some of it from her campaign fund and took that home, which, as far as I understand, is against the law. So she kind of confessed to that. He said he had no records proving that she had paid for this in cash. And being a district attorney, you know, it raised a lot of issues. Are there bribes being paid by certain people, you know, to affect the outcome of certain investigations? You know, if you slip Fani, as the song just said, if you slip her, you know, the right amount of money, your problems go away. That's the allegation, and I don't know. A full investigation might be called for on some of this stuff.
For rap with no shame, she get up on TV, then you all know her name. If you play in Fulton County, then you better get paid. You know why? Cause the D.A. corrupt, yo. From what I heard, Fatty got a baby by Mondo, and Loomis said she got a trapped house in a condo. She don't care whatever said, long as she flopped though. Now
rumors that she's got a trap house. A trap house is a place where you buy drugs. And then she actually did represent that rapper Mo that he mentioned. Whether they had a relationship or not, I don't know. There's some allegations there, but I don't think she actually had a child with him. Whoever wrote this song knows a lot about Fani's personal life. At the end they said there, you don't care what happens as long as she clocks the dough. Well, I think clocking means gets paid.
she got a trapped house in a condo. She don't care whatever said, long as she flopped though. Now I say is she a boat rigger, but Fatty only make my lead bigger. Now I say is she a boat rigger, but Fatty only make my lead bigger. Get down, girl, go ahead, get down. 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 13 counts, she getting paid to pounce. And for 13 counts, I know somebody paying top to charge whoever he says. Another D.A. in
The person that is suspected of paying for all this, George Soros, the fellow in the middle there, who's one of the richest people around. But he's been giving money to a lot of district attorneys in blue cities. You see there, it actually tells you how much to each person. Mr. Krasner in Philadelphia got $1.5 million. Kim Fox in Chicago got $2 million. Well, he's basically been helping radical, actually almost communists, win these local elections. I don't know how much he gave Fani. So the allegation is that Soros, who's committed to the destruction of this country, doing it by putting very, very left-wing prosecutors into the big blue cities. And we know that they're not prosecuting ordinary street crime. They're letting people be released without bail, go right back out and commit more crimes. They're letting people organized attacks on businesses where they come in, they loot everything, and nothing happens. So that's the world we're living in, folks.
And for 13 counts, I know somebody paying top to charge whoever he says. Another D.A. in the pop that handle all of his biz. You will see her at the courthouse, call her Fani Willis. Charge another rapper because you know she out to get us. She even charge her president if you could pay the money. Election interference done, deal for the money.
And there is a link, of course, to all this back to the Biden White House. That was something that was revealed, was that both Fani, I believe, and her boyfriend, Mr. Wade, had visited the Biden White House. In fact, it came out in his billing statement that he billed for that visit. And so apparently a lot of money being spent to support all of these lawsuits, but we're talking here about the one in Atlanta. The money and the guidance is coming from the very top of the Democratic Party, that they want Trump either put in jail or his reputation damaged so much that he won't be able to be elected. However, as the song says, all it's doing is making his lead bigger. That mugshot that you just saw was taken in Fulton County when he was indicted, and that was probably good for about 10 or 20% of the black vote going his way, because people related to that. He's in the same category as some of the black people that have been indicted by Fani, the other rappers she's gone after. Then his street cred just went up about 1,000%. And so everything that they're doing is backfiring on them.
Looking like Chapo with the money. She got a new week, got white po with the money. If you ain't no punk, holla, we want D-Trump. We want D-Trump, yeah. It's something that you need to have, cause when we get revenge, we gonna kick some ass. 13 counts, got paid for every count, straight into bank accounts. Now I say is she a boat rigger, but Fatty only make my lead bigger. Now I say is she a boat rigger, but Fatty fatty only make my lead bigger. Get down, girl, go ahead, get down. Get down, girl, go ahead, get down. Get down, girl, go ahead, get down. Get down, girl, go ahead, get down.
And this fella here, C3PMeme, is actually credited with producing this masterpiece. I don't know anything about him. Apparently the other people shown were those that helped him, and together they're known as a team. So there you have it. Very funny song and very timely today. Now I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to make a prediction. I'm not going to get too deep in the weeds of all the details of what happened this past week and all the different testimony, but I will say that there's no way that she stays or her boyfriend stays on this case. And if they were smart, which so far they've shown little evidence of having much intelligence, but if they were smart or if they listened to some good advice, they would resign from this case before it gets any worse, before they're thrown off the case. Because the standard of proof here, you don't even have to have a proven impropriety. You just have to have the appearance of a conflict. And there's all kinds of appearances of conflicts, right down to this shady story about everything being paid in cash and nobody's got a record of it and nobody knows where it came from. That's not the type of way that we expect our public services to conduct their business. Bye-bye, Fani. I just want to point out one other thing. My last 3 videos appear to have been pretty much suppressed on YouTube. Even videos that had no political content. In other words, I did a tribute to Toby Keith when he died and got very few views. It wasn't searchable. It didn't come up. If you search Toby Keith tributes or anything like that, I didn't show up. My most recent video I did was a reaction to one of Ren's songs, The Money Game, #2, and that barely got any traction. Less than 100 views here in 3 days, while all my previous high Ren videos have gotten, on average, maybe 700, so 10 times as much viewership as this one, which doesn't make any sense to me unless I've been put on a list somewhere that my videos are just not going to be promoted at all, or just minimally. So we'll see how we do with this one. This is probably not going to be their favorite video, but I'm also on Rumble, so I wish more people would start following me over there, because it's been abundantly proved YouTube is controlling content at the direction of certain elements of our government. If you do not follow their narrative, you will be shadow banned or outright banned eventually. So as long as YouTube continues to have that political bias, I'm going to be struggling over here. So please find me on Rumble.